Hey folks, welcome back. Tonight I'm continuing on with making the pattern and the cope and drag boxes so that I can take them over to Windy Hill and cast a piece of cast iron for a rail system for the Monarch 10EE. Anyway, I'm using my old saw here to make that pattern, and this is what I'm making. This is just a little short piece of it, but that's the cross section that we're going to make. This is a 45-45, and that makes a 90-degree V where we can roll a precision V wheel on top of it. And then all the rest of this is for mass so that it doesn't bend. You know, that's just pretty much as thick as a nice straight edge, so it should hold its shape pretty well. What else am I doing? Replies to some of the comments I've been seeing on the last video. One of the most often reply was, why don't you use a tool post grinder? I'm worried about that die grinder spindle not being accurate enough or having too much run out. And that's a good thought. I can't use a tool post grinder because they're too large. I have a very little surface that I need to grind, and it's right up next to the head of the machine. So a tool post grinder will not get in and grind the areas that I need to grind. That die grinder, I can maneuver it, and it's skinny enough to where I can get right in there. The second part of that was you're worried about it not being precise enough. And that is a valid concern. But I want you to understand also that this is not like taking that bed and putting it on a grinder and letting it grind, and it grinds the whole thing in one time and one surface, and what you get is what you get. This is more like hand scraping that way. Because I have the carriage that supports the die grinder, and remember this is going to be heavy so it won't have any lift. As it goes along grinding away, it may be off a little bit here and there. But the second part of that sled is it also makes a really good repeatable index holder. I can put indexers on that and dial indicators and go down that whole way and see where it's not perfect. And then I can use the die grinder to go over those areas. So I'm using the die grinder more like I would a hand scraper, you know. So hopefully I can get it even better than a grinder can. Who knows? Anyway, I went upstairs and I dug around in my old stock for some really dry wood that hadn't warped, and came up with this piece of fir, and I'm going to go ahead and mill it up some more. I've already cut it down a little bit. Now I'm going to take off the, forgot what the name of that one's called, a shark bite or shark something, shark head. Those are the best dust collecting guards I've ever had. And unfortunately, if I turn on the dust collector, you're not going to hear anything. So I'm leaving that off for this little bit. Got to get rid of it so I can do a little bit more blade extension. I cleaned up that surface pretty well. This other side a little sanded, it'll be fine. So now I need to cut some 45s. I've got to make a taper. Okay. This has got a little taper right here. So as we pull up, it'll release along both surfaces. I don't think I need to have a taper on both sides, because once it comes up, this side down here is larger than up here, so it should just lift right up. And by doing that, I've got a reference surface for when I plane it. Now, took that old piece of fur and made it pretty nice. Got a few holes to fill up here. So basically, I'm going to sand this off, fill the holes and paint it, and be ready. Well, I need to make a flat right there. We don't need that sharp point. It'll be good. We got a little flat right there. I hope that aids in filling that point out all the way. But it really doesn't matter if it's not, because when I plane it, I'm going to be taking off this edge here and this edge here and redefining that. So as long as I have the strength to not be able to bend this way and that way and up and down, I think we'll be pretty good. This is only 1/10 of the metric ones I have. God! I did a search for the best paint to put on this pattern. And then I called Windy Hill and talked to him and said, "What do you use?" And he says, "It really doesn't matter." He said, "You just paint the thing so with something that the sand won't stick to. And you want it to be clean when it releases." So with that in mind, I filled all the voids in here, let this Bondo dry. And then I'm going to hit it with some high build primer and fill in all the little things, and then sand it and maybe give it 2 or 3 coats of that. That should make it nice and smooth. And if it needed something harder, I could spray a lacquer over the top of it. But that's what I'm going to do. I think it'll work fine. This thing's ready to be put into some sand and make some rails out of. Well, now that I've got the pattern made, I need to make a cope and drag box so we can mold it up. Talking with Clark, he wants to have 4 inches of sand around all the surfaces of this pattern. So we'll measure it up. Basically, this is some poplar that I've had sitting around. Might as well use it. If I use this, that'll give me 4.5 inches of sand on the bottom, which should be fine. Then I'll need to make a top. I might cheat on the top a little bit if I can. So I'm going to put some lap joints in the corners of these boxes, so I'll need 1.5 inches for that. Got 50 inches of pattern here, and then I'll need 4 inches on each end, so that's 58, 59.5 inch long box. Okay, now I've got 4 sides that are all the same length, and I need end pieces for it. And what's going to happen is I'm going to cut a rabbet in this. So this board goes down halfway. So whatever I cut this, it needs to be 1 inch longer than the interior opening that I want. Well, not 1 inch. 3/4 of an inch. Okay. Well, look what the cat drug in.
Ah. Dog, I think.
Dog?
Dog drug in.
What you got there, Don?
Ah, a piece to the paper attachment for the Axelson.
I'll take these over and get them cast.
I ran out of, they need to be another coat on there, but I ran out.
I got some.
Figured that would be, you can use those to pull them out, you know? The mold.
Now that's a good idea too. Say hi, Don.
Hey, people.
Put you around here.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
All right.
That should work.
I was making the boxes up for going over there. Board like that, a board like that. This one in here.
Easy enough.
Move them and screw them. I think we'll be in good shape.
I've ever seen Clark pour anything this long.
Well, that's why I'm making the boxes. I didn't think he had anything this long.
Yeah, what do you think you're going to pour the middle from the middle?
Man, I don't know.
Because
Pakistani pours never do anything like this. I don't know. This is going to fit like this in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Then you pull this out after you do the top box.
Mm-hmm.
That gives him his 4 inches all the way around. What I suspect is he'll maybe make a chamber
Yeah, I think you'd have to do it from the middle.
with another chamber here and one there to keep the erosion down from this.
Keep it from cooling if you just pour from one end too. It'll cool by the time you get done.
Yeah.
Are you gonna just stare at it, or are you gonna finish it? It's not it's not a work of art.
You get a haircut, and boy, it goes to your brain.
It's not a work of art. It's a box.
Well,
let's go, chop chop. But you got me to push you.
Don, I think you've been sniffing my glue. It's all gone.
Yeah, tape bind.
Well, I didn't say you were a professional drug glue sniffer. I just said you've been sniffing it.
No. Tape bind I wouldn't consider to be the good stuff.
I wouldn't know. I'm
a paramedic. You should know.
Okay, in that manner, but I was talking about the user of the drug.
I don't see what they get out of that. I was painting oil one time and my respirator was leaking, and I got so walked out I couldn't even talk, and it did not feel good. So I don't see what people get out of smelling that stuff. It was not a good high at all.
It does explain a lot.
Yeah, true. That killed half of my brain.
Going through life with a leaky respirator. Man, I'm having a hard time with material here. It's not going to leave me enough to do the other piece.
Nope. That's the last one you have up there?
I have some wider pieces.
Can you get two out of the wider piece? Not even cut that board.
Oh, I got a smaller piece. I can make the end pieces out of anything.
Sure.
So I've got two long pieces. Got enough for 4 long pieces here. All right. How wide is that board there? We're going to make these 4 inches. I don't leave this thing on here all the time. It sticks out too far and it's hard to rip with it.
You make the sides out of plywood?
Maybe. That's what we need to do right now, though. And
Yeah, you need to make the sides for
make
it.
4 sides. I'll go upstairs and see if I can find it. I think so.
You put it upstairs somewhere?
No, I just don't think I have any.
Oh well. Nail it and screw it. Been a while?
Yeah, well, this one loads different. I'll be able to take it out the back here. Then it slides down and this comes up and grabs it.
Just like the rigid ones do the same thing.
This is a rigid one.
Oh, that's why I did it that way then.
Oh, you're good.
Seeing if you're paying attention, just seeing if you're paying attention, baby.
Can't put anything over on you, can we?
Lifetime warranty, except they always have an excuse why not to honor it.
I think that's because you look swarmy when you go in there.
Nah. I've never tried. Mine hasn't broken yet.
Well,
Well, pop, pop, pop. Let's get going.
I'm still undecided. I don't know if...
It's either nail, screw, or nail and screw. The only two choices you have. Unless you want to dovetail them all and slide them in.
Why don't you do that while I go check on the website?
Yeah, okay. Put them on your mill, man.
Get something to drink for it. They hydrate.
Sounds like rain. Can't be rain. It wasn't a cloud in the sky.
Just paid $170 to wash my truck.
It's not rain. It's up falling from the trees.
Well, crap.
There's a lesson here. This is what happens when you wait to the absolute last minute to do something.
Did I ever teach you how to duck? The absolute last minute is 8 o'clock in the morning.
You said you were leaving early. Not early. I don't know how effective the glue would be with the heat anyway, once it got hot. Yeah, boy, that's perfect. That warps a little bit, but should be fine. The important thing is your tops match. You close it. Either that or pick up some glue on the way. And some screws.
Go get some glue right now.
You can do that too. Yes. Yeah. Should work. Should be quick once you get the glue.
Yeah, it's nearly done.
Yeah.
Hard part's going to be making the time-consuming part's making little clasps.
The registers, yeah. Yeah. You got all night?
I do. I stay up till 1, so
You got plenty of time.
I think I'm going to do that. I don't want to.
Yeah.
The glue may fail from the heat, but at least it'll be there while you're building the box, the mold and stuff.
Are you banging on it?
And when we get on top of it and dance with our bare feet, you know.
Yeah, if it holds your ass, it'll hold anything.
Keep trying to get you to come with me.
I liked it. I just got too much going this week, man.
Yeah, let's see.
I have a mediation.
A beauty nap.
I work for a living. Unlike some people, can just take off anytime they want.
Who?
I still have to work for a living.
How many times have you told me you don't work? It's a job, not a job.
When you enjoy what you're doing, it's not work.
I want to glue it. I just would feel better.
Let's go get some glue then.
I'm going to go get some glue. You want to go?
What time is it? Almost 5. 4.
Let me see what Tisha's doing for dinner. Got all our stock cut. Now I just got to put it together. But there's one thing I want to do to make sure everything lines up. These are really long. And when I take off my socks and stand up here and dance on it like you're supposed to, I'm afraid it's going to spread out. So what I'm going to do is install some T-nuts, about two of them here, and then a threaded rod going through it so I can attach it and still not have anything sticking out this side, so if you flip it over, it doesn't get hung up on things. So I'm going to drill a hole for them and go from there. Next thing I'm going to do is take this threaded rod and see if we can make that go through there. Go. there we go. Cope and drag and a finished pattern. Ready to go to Mississippi now.